Philadelphia news, team of my heart.
Sixers news and trade updates are heating up. With 19 days left in the regular season, the NBA draft lottery will decide Philly's fate. Will they keep their pick or lose it to OKC? Even if disaster strikes, the Sixers still have a move to make. Let's break it all down. Philadelphia 76ers draft strategy. The three paths they could take. Tick. 19 days left in the regular season, and every second matters. The Philadelphia 76ers are standing at a crossroads, staring straight into the uncertainty of the NBA draft lottery. It's a gamble with high stakes. If their first-round pick lands in the top 6, they keep it. But if it slips just one spot lower, it belongs to Oklahoma City, and the Sixers are left empty-handed. Think about it, you've been waiting for the Sixers to stack young talent, and now there's a chance they walk away from draft night with nothing. That's the nightmare scenario. But hold on, Nick Nurse and the front office aren't just sitting around, hoping for luck. They've got to play up their sleeve. That sneaky second-round pick from Dallas, the one acquired in the Quentin Grimes trade, could be the key to salvaging this draft. And in a class loaded with talent, the Sixers still have options. So, what's the move? The Sixers could look at a shooter, a defensive disruptor, or a versatile big. Three paths. Three players who could reshape this team's depth. Let's get right into it. Walter Clayton Jr., a shooter's touch. You love a shooter. Every great Sixers squad has had one JJ Redick, Kyle Korver, even Seth Curry for a stretch. Walter Clayton Jr. could be the next in line. The 6'0" guard from Florida is a sniper. He moves like he's floating off screens, catching, firing, and torching defenses. In his senior season, he put up 17.6 points per game, hitting 36.5% from 3 on over 7 attempts a night. That's volume. That's confidence. That's what this team needs. Now, let's be real, Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain are locked in as part of this backwards future. And if the Sixers retain Quentin Grimes, that's even more depth at the guard position. So where does Clayton fit? Off the bench, stretching the floor, punishing defenses for leaving him open. He's not just a catch-and-shoot threat, he's got the mid-range bag, the ability to navigate screens, and enough playmaking skills to keep defenses honest. Defensively, he's solid but not a stopper. That's why his minutes would likely come in offensive bursts. Think instant offense. Think firepower in the second unit. If the Sixers want a reliable scoring punch, Clayton is an intriguing option. Adou Thiero, the defensive answer. You've watched this team struggle against long, athletic wings before. It's frustrating. The Celtics roll out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The Cavs throw out Evan Mobley. And the Sixers need an answer. Enter Adou Thiero. Standing at 6'8" with a 200-pound frame, Thiero brings length, energy, and defensive versatility. He spent his early college years at Kentucky before transferring to Arkansas, where he put up 15.6 points per game on a ridiculous 54.8% shooting from the field. He's a slasher, an athlete, a guy who thrives in transition and makes things happen on both ends. Defensively, this is where he could be a real weapon. Thiero can guard multiple positions, fight through screens, and challenge shots at the rim. The Sixers have struggled with perimeter defense at times. Imagine adding a guy with a relentless motor, someone who takes pride in shutting down opposing wings. The downside, the three-point shot needs work. A lot of work. He hit just 26.2% from deep this season, which means he'd be a project. But if the Sixers are looking for a versatile defender who could become an impact player, with the right development, Thiero is a name to watch. Yaxel Lendeborg, the all-around forward now. Let's talk about the front court. Depth at power forward has been an issue all year. The Sixers need size, rebounding, and someone who can bring toughness to the paint. Yaxel Lendeborg checks those boxes. At 6 feet 9 inches and 230 pounds, Lendeborg is a problem for defenders. He averaged 17.8 points, 11.2 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.8 steals, and 1.8 blocks this past season at UAB. That's production at every level. He attacks the glass like a man possessed, makes smart decisions with the ball, and has the athleticism to finish through contact. And defensively, he's an absolute disruptor. He blocks shots, jumps passing lanes, and brings an intensity that Philly fans are going to love. This is the kind of player who doesn't need the ball to make an impact. If you've been frustrated by the Sixers getting bullied in the paint, Lendeborg is the type of guy who fixes that dot, of course. There's always a question, does he fit right away? Maybe, maybe not. But if the Sixers want to add a physical, high energy forward who can make plays all over the court, he's worth a serious look. 3 options, 3 different ways to approach the draft. But which one makes the most sense for the Sixers? Do they target a sharpshooter in Clayton, a defensive menace in Thiero, or a versatile, high-energy big in Lendeborg? Drop a comment below who do you think fits this team the best. And don't forget to hit that like button if you want more Sixers news. And trade updates coming your way. Walter Clayton Jr. brings instant defense. You know how valuable that is. The Sixers have struggled at times when their second unit takes the floor. And there's nothing more frustrating than watching a lead slip away because of stagnant defense. Clayton doesn't just shoot, he thrives in motion, working off screens, relocating to open spots, and knocking down deep shots with ease. You can already picture him running around screens set by Joel Embiid, catching a pass from Tyrese Maxey, and letting it fly before defenders can recover. His skill set isn't just about three-point shooting, though. He has a polished mid-range game capable of pulling up off the dribble and finishing through contact. If defenses close out too aggressively, he has the patience to attack and find a soft spot inside. And while he's not a true point guard, he has solid court vision enough to keep the ball moving and create opportunities for teammates. Defensively, he's serviceable but not a lockdown presence. That's where the concerns come in. The Sixers already have smaller guards in Maxey and McCain. Adding another one means you'd need elite defenders around them to cover for size mismatches. Clayton's offense is undeniable, but in a league where teams love switching everything, you have to ask yourself if Philly can afford to have another undersized player in the rotation. That's where Adou Thiero comes into the conversation. The Sixers have been missing a wing defender who can battle against bigger guards and forwards. Thiero's 6 feet 8 inches frame and defensive intensity could solve that problem. He plays with an edge, always engaged, always looking to disrupt passing lanes or contest shots. You watch him on film, and you see a player who takes defense personally, something this team has lacked at times. He's more than just a defensive presence, though. His offensive game has real potential. Thiero is a relentless slasher, constantly attacking the rim and finishing through contact. He plays above the rim and thrives in transition, exactly the kind of energy boost that could fit perfectly next to Maxey's speed and McCain's shot making. But then you come back to the biggest question, his three-point shot. It's a glaring weakness. In today's NBA, if you can't shoot, you'll be ignored on offense, and defenses will sag off, making life harder for everyone else. Thiero shot just 2% from deep this season, which isn't going to cut it at the next level. If he can develop a reliable shot, he becomes an extremely valuable player. But if not, you're looking at a defensive specialist who might struggle to stay on the floor in key moments. Then there's Yaxel Lendeborg. The Sixers have been searching for an answer at power forward for what feels like forever. Lendeborg could be that guy. He brings physicality, rebounding, and defensive versatility. At 6 feet 9 inches and 230 pounds, he plays bigger than his size, constantly battling in the paint, securing rebounds and making life miserable for opposing bigs. Lendeborg's offensive game is well-rounded. He's not just a dunker or a rim runner. He can handle the ball, make smart passes, and finish from different areas on the floor. His ability to read the game stands out. He doesn't force bad shots, he finds the right angles. And he knows when to kick it out or take it himself. That kind of decision-making is crucial for a team looking to win now. Defensively, he does a little bit of everything. He's a strong help defender, a good shot blocker, and quick enough to switch onto smaller players when needed. The Sixers have had issues with rim protection outside of Embiid, and Lendeborg's ability to contest shots could be a game changer. The only downside, his three-point shot is still a work in progress. He's not a complete non-shooter, but he's not someone you can rely on to stretch the floor consistently. That could limit his role early on, but his impact in other areas might outweigh that concern. So now, it all comes down to what you think the Sixers need most. Do they add a shooter like Clayton, a defensive-minded wing in Thiero, or a high-energy big like Lendeborg? Walter Clayton Jr., Adou Thiero, and Yaxel Lendeborg, 3 names. 3 different skill sets, 3 possible directions for the Sixers. But what's the best move for this team? That depends on what you think is the biggest need heading into the draft. If you believe shooting is the priority, then Clayton makes a strong case. You've seen how crucial floor spacing is, especially in an offense built around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. When teams collapse on Embiid in the post or send double teams at Maxey on the perimeter, you need knockdown shooters who can punish those defenses. Clayton provides that with his ability to catch and fire from deep, relocate off screens, and create his own shot when needed. His shooting alone could make him an instant contributor, even if he's not the strongest defender or playmaker. But what if you think the Sixers' biggest weakness is length and defense? Then Thiero should be your pick. You've watched this team struggle against bigger wings and physical teams like the Celtics and Bucks. Thiero's defensive upside could be the answer. He brings the energy, the size, and the mentality needed to battle against elite scorers. You won't find him taking plays off or letting opponents get comfortable he's in your face. Contesting shots, forcing turnovers, and doing all the little things that don't show up in the box score. His offensive game needs work. But if you trust the Sixers' development staff, he could turn into a two-way contributor. Then there's Lendeborg, who fills a completely different void. The Sixers have lacked a true backup power forward who can defend, rebound, and make plays. Lendeborg checks all those boxes. He's tough, physical, and plays with an edge, something this team has been missing at times. His ability to defend multiple positions, block shots, and crash the glass makes him an intriguing option. And while his shooting isn't at an elite level, his all-around game might be too good to pass up. So, where do you stand? If you had to make the call right now, who's the best fit for the Sixers? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Should Philly prioritize shooting, defense, or frontcourt depth? And hey, if you want to stay ahead of all the Sixers news, trade buzz, and draft updates, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next because the Sixers offseason is about to get a whole lot more interesting.